Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again live here at the Price Center in University of California, San Diego for Winter Game Fest. This is the Tespa Collegiate Series Overwatch Grand Finals. We're coming down to the last match. Toronto facing off against Berkeley, and take a look at this. Their victories were so decisive in both of their matches.
Yeah, I was super impressed with the performance of UC Berkeley coming into this. That was the one team that I was kind of unsure about, but looking at the DPS duo of Align and Style, I could not believe some of the kills that they were pulling off. This is one team that's going to be incredibly hard to deal with.
Yeah, we were talking about sort of what these teams did to prepare. When we were talking to the members of Cal, they said they expect Toronto to make it to the finals, and they're a little scared of them, but not too much. Both of these teams have the highest rated players. You know, they're all sitting around Grandmaster or even higher. They have incredible communication, incredible teamwork, and honestly, it's going to make for one hell of a final.
I mean, what can we say? Like, this is the first day that we've actually seen cross-regional play. These teams have scrimmed with each other, but this is the first time where money's been on the line.
Right.
And it's all coming down to this. I mean, the winner of this match are going to be walking away with $42,000 in scholarship pricing.
And to add to that, a lot of these players don't really have LAN experience. When you're playing on a stage like that, in front of all of your friends, a crowd of people that you don't necessarily know, playing for the amount of money that they are playing for, I can only imagine how much pressure is on these players. You're in a new environment, you're unfamiliar, you're probably uncomfortable, incredibly nervous, and at the same time, you're like, all right, if I win this, I can pay for a lot of school. So there's a lot of pressure on these players, and whoever can fight through that, I think, is going to come out on top.
The nice thing about that pressure and playing on stages, they've already done it once. They've sort of run through the gauntlet. Hopefully we see a little bit more composure, and the nerves won't get to the players. But then again, you're saying $42,000 for first place. Second place gets $2,100,000 for the 7 members, but that's not as much as $42,000.
We could see like a $21,000 play happen. And if I'm the player who does that, I'm going to be like, yo, guys, remember that book I bought for you? That meal plan I bought for you?
Get out of here, Josh.
That's why I'm not playing on stage.
Yeah.
All right. So we just saw them secure their spot against Rutgers University. Once again, guys, give it up for Berkeley!
Fantastic showing by Berkeley so far. Of course, that's Slurpee Thief walking on stage. We have the whole fan club in the audience. The entire family is out here, and this is going to be an incredibly difficult team to get through. We were saying that about Toronto in the first semifinals, but Berkeley showed a sort of monstrosity we were not expecting in the finals.
Yeah, Berkeley just overall have had so much competition to get to this point that is the out-of-region competition even competition for them? We don't really know.
Are they going to be able to secure that legacy for Berkeley?
Kyle Flaw with that little smile there.
Kyle
He's thinking, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it.
I mean, first season, Heroes of the Dorm, Berkeley took it against ASU, if I remember correctly. And now, Berkeley up against Toronto, trying to secure that victory. I mean, that is one hell of a legacy to set for the school.
That would be pretty incredible if they were the first inaugural Heroes champions, Heroes of the Dorm, and then also for the Tespa Collegiate Series for Overwatch.
And once again, I don't think you need an introduction, but yeah, here is the roster for the University of California, Berkeley. Kyle F. Lal, their captain, Style, and their DPS, Slurpee Thief, their main rectangle, Reinhardt. We got Aligned, that Genji extraordinaire, Psych, and the Chowster.
Now, Slurpee Thief is somebody that we've been talking about a lot. Obviously, we did a couple of interviews, but his tank play has been absolutely clutch throughout the entire series against Rutgers. He was able to stall out during the perfect times, get the perfect engages with the Earthshatter, and the Winston play was incredibly impressive as well. Of course, Style and Aligned on their DPS heroes, they've been doing a fantastic job, but so much of what's made their great accomplishments possible is the fact that the other 4 members on their team are always there to back them up.
But standing in their way, it is going to be the University of Toronto, our neighbors from the north. Give it up for the Kings of the North.
Kings of the North walking. You can see Ronald Renanthera, their captain, putting his hand up there. Toronto, they've had a different path to make it here, but they are trying to solidify their legacy as champions. Yeah, that's Renanthera there with a little bit of showmanship.
They have their primary Ana player and their captain.
Oh yeah, and we interviewed them throughout the regular season. He runs a tight ship. These teams, both teams, and all the teams that made it at this level, they prepare a whole lot. They scrim up to 12 hours a week. And against semi-professional teams, that's quite the load to handle while you're also playing in competitions and then going to a premier college.
And dealing with midterms. I
Yeah.
know a lot of you guys are dealing with midterms right now, so.
Dude, if I won $21,000 or $42,000, I think I would take some time off, to be completely honest.
All right, speaking of midterms, I actually have a story. Talon had a midterm that was worth 80% of his grade.
Ooh, but he is
But
here.
he passed it, and he's here.
Yeah,
So,
and
good
so,
stuff, Talon.
Once again, the roster of University of Toronto. It is going to be Renan Thera, their captain Lair, one of their DPS dimes, the Canadian Genji himself, Talon, Funana, and Mr. Bleeple.
And this is a team that was actually expecting to face off against, or wanting to face off against Rutgers in the finals. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so I'm sure they're going to do their scrim partners proud and give Cal one hell of a match.
Yeah, they need to get the retribution for the East Coast there. And so it's a tall order on both sides. Honestly, I can't predict where this is going to go. They're both have highly accomplished Genjis, right? Their coordination with their ultimates have been fantastic. Their defenses have looked absolutely stellar.
And this is a team, these are two teams that I feel like have very distinct play styles. Cal, more so reliant on align and style to make big plays, and then Toronto, they have a lot of interesting team plays. And if we take a look at the actual match, the heads-up matchup, 10-0 Toronto, that's the record that they are rocking. UC Berkeley, just, you know, one tick lower at 9-1. At this point, though, it's almost like this stuff isn't relevant. They only have to win one more series in order to claim the crown of the Overwatch Tespa Collegiate Champions.
Yeah, and we're starting off here in the grand finals of the Tespa Collegiate Series on Kings Row. We started off on Lijiang first, but now we are here on Kings Row, which we have seen from both series is both teams actually winning their match on Kings Row.
Yeah, it's considered probably one of the more balanced and certainly fun to play on maps in the game. We see it quite a bit in competitive play. We saw it a good amount during the regular season and the playoffs of the Tespa Collegiate Series as well. It's going to be the first map of tonight. And this finals, honestly, I could see it going to Game 5.
And something really interesting that we've seen on Kings Row thus far is like every single time a team went for the first point, they seem to have captured it within the first push. That level of aggression is something that we've become used to in at least the live finals of the Tespa Collegiate Series. So we'll see if Cal facing off against Toronto, point A becomes more of a spot of contention, or if we just continue that trend of kind of that snowbally early game.
Yeah, both of these teams, you know, despite the meta, despite, you know, a lot of the popular compositions like the triple tank, we've been seeing them go pretty dive heavy.
Right.
And so at this point, it's who takes the initiative, and it's going to come down to who gets the first pick, I honestly believe, which Genji will be able to find that support and start snowballing these fights.
I think we can also expect to see the fire from Style, certainly.
All right. Yeah, and we're going to see that soon as we are getting into the match. Guys, give it up for your casters. It is going to be Joshua Piscator Lee along with Seamus C. Moose Anderson. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, James. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that you've all been waiting for, the grand finals of the Overwatch Tespa Collegiate Series. It's going to be Cal facing off against Toronto. Make some noise!
And the defensive setup here from the University of Toronto. Rocking that triple tank and a soldier Talons on that here, all on the ground floor right now. And UC Berkeley, they're hovering over some interesting picks. Is Style actually going to use this, or is he going to swap back to the Fire? I'm assuming he's going to swap back to Fire because the Chowster is already picking that Mercy.
Then again, we have seen those situations where teams want to try and snowball with that Hanzo, or maybe they just want to use it for vision. There we go, like you said, good read by C-Moose. He's going to switch over to that Pharah, going to be rocking with the pocket Mercy. See what this duo can do.
Style jumping up into the air, like knockback. You could see the members of Toronto
Big hook
all
early.
moving away. They need to be really cognizant of this fire, but they're not even going for her right now.
Yeah, but it looks like we do have first blood drawn by Berkeley. Slurpy Thief finding one onto Mr. Bleeple. This could be the go button for them as Sid actually finds a second one. Kyle F finding a third for their team in Toronto. Now with the numbers disadvantage, Lair evens it up with just a little bit.
That hook was really nice by Lair and might keep Toronto in this, but more members of Berkeley are getting onto the point. And the thing is, the spawn is so much closer for the offense here. Oh, there comes the nano boost. This right now is going to be so strong.
Here comes the nano. He's coming through. He's purple, but I don't think that's going to do much. Talent going so very low. Slurpy Thief finding a kill into Renanthera, and two more members of Toronto dropping. With that, Cal just need to clean up a couple more members of Toronto, and they should be free to take point A.
You know, Piscator, part of the reason why we've on the desk been talking about Slurpy this entire time, his storyline is awesome. Came in as sort of a substitute player, He has his entire family supporting him. The other reason why we're talking about Slurpee Thief is because he is freaking amazing, coming up with 3 kills, I want to say, in that kill feed, a 3-minute Earthshatter as well, and a very fast take by UC Berkeley.
He's one of those incredibly patient tanks that we don't see so very often. Usually, I feel like our experience in competitive mode or playing quick play, if you have a Reinhardt, you're just expecting him to go in. But he's been incredibly sneaky on the Winston, has really good timing in terms of his Reinhardt Earthshatters, in addition to when to pull up and drop the shield. I expect Slurpee Thief to do big things for his team.
Speaking of sneaky, you can see that Lair is looking for a sneaky hook on that left side on the Roadhog there. You can see the little silhouette. I'm not sure whether or not UC Berkeley actually sees him. There we go. And he's going to jump down, gets a hook onto Psych, and that's going to be a dead Roadhog, so a 65 for Toronto.
So 1-for-1 so far. Lair getting closer and closer to that whole hog as time goes on. Style actually finding 2 in the fight, so Cal slowly coming ahead. Now we're on with Lair. He's going to have to fight off these members, so he's going so very low, and he finally does drop. So many members of Toronto going down the Graviton as the cherry on top, and Cal coming ahead on another team fight.
The ultimate advantage, because Berkeley were able to win that first point and take it very quickly, meant that the Graviton there from Align was able to clean up the members of Toronto. That was a good idea from Lair to try and make a sneaky Roadhog hook into a sort of winning play for his team, but unfortunately they weren't able to salvage the situation. It was a trade, a 1-for-1 as opposed to a clean kill. That being said, though, Toronto is still able to defend this point.
Toronto is able to defend. Style, however, has the missile barrage, looking for a way to the back lane. Just gonna hit him with the left clicks instead. 3 members already dropping for Toronto. Cal sitting on 4 ultimates. They activate the second checkpoint. The boom! Bye-bye, Mr. Bleeple. He goes down. Style finding another one. Cal came to play.
Style is going off on the spar just when you think he couldn't be playing any better. That ridiculous boot, but now Cal have 5 minutes to push the payload all the way to the end, and Piscator, I really don't think they're gonna need them.
This is the most hilariously one-sided King's Row we've seen so far in the tournament. 4 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. This payload is just a few meters away from actually getting captured. Cal sitting on 4 ultimates. If they pop them all right here, we could see some record time.
Yeah, even if they don't make any offensive ultimates work, they still have the Resurrect to fall back up, and here comes the grab.
Oh, good sleep coming through. Now comes the counter engage. Slurpee Thief going deep. That's 2 picked up already. Style burning through 2 members of Toronto. I can't believe I'm seeing this. Are we already seeing Cal take down Toronto on King's Row?
Cal didn't use a wombo combo. They had Style on the super mega amazing wombo combo. Not only did they have the grab into barrage, they had it boosted up as well, and Toronto got melted. Berkeley now just lighting up the kill feed red, and this could be a record time on King's Row.
My God. What the heck was that?
The crowd is saying it better than we ever could. This West Coast home crowd, Cal showing us the most dominant performance we've seen so far, and this is only the first half of the first map of this finals.
Look at Cal. They're all like, hey, you guys saw that, right?
Yeah.
That's what's up. We got 4 minutes on the clock. What are you going to spend your $21,000 on? Toronto don't look as happy, but if you get that point taken away from you that quickly, it's no surprise there. And this is a team that did so well in their semifinal match. The fact that we're seeing the level of play continue to rise throughout the entirety of the Tespa Collegiate Series, I mean, everybody here came to Winter Game Fest 2017 wanting to check out all the different activities, but I bet they didn't expect this level of collegiate Overwatch action.
Let's take a look at this replay. Style on the fire just did so much work, and there was a Foop actually in combination with the whole hog as well. Amazing knockback to make sure it goes past the shield and then knocks him directly into the hole. That geometry is pretty hard to hit.
Again, these players, they do have the opportunity to respond. We've seen crazier leads happen before, and even crazier teams overcoming that. So I don't want to count anybody out of the game just yet. There we have Slurpee Thief on the screen for you guys. He brought the biggest fan club out of anybody in this entire tournament, I believe. I may be slightly biased because they gave me one of those cool Slurpee cups, and I'm definitely taking it home. There's no Slurpee in it, but that's fine. I'm kind of on a diet.
It also has a little thing around it, a Bandito mask.
Oh, that's true. I don't think it'll fit my face, though.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. Toronto, though, we'll see exactly what they try and change up, because that first push, I mean, I feel like I just got up here. I'm like, I'm kind of nervous to cast the finals, and oh, wait, it's over? It was really quick.
It was dominant for sure, but I don't think Toronto's going to be out of it. Even if they do lose King's Row, they're still going to have a lot of time. And Talon's on this Widowmaker. This actually might be a Widowmaker pick, because Talon's played so much Widowmaker throughout the regular season, but they know he is on the hero, so looks like he's going to go and swap back. We got a
Soldier
there.
on.
Yep, go to Soldier. A little bit more of a standard pick.
All right, Toronto have a mountain and change to climb. If you guys think they can do it, make some noise!
Lair
right.
coming around the side on the high ground, but already a kill over to the enemy Roadhog. He's jumping down to try and find a kill. The Reinhardt shard going past, doesn't find anything. And I think UC Berkeley is going to win this.
It's a 2-for-1 so far, so the fight's not quite over yet, but all the members of Toronto are going so very low. Lucio actually manages to make it away, but Align has his eyes on the target. Gonna let him go for now. Not super important to chase him just yet. Mr. Bleeple going purple. He's gonna have to peel back. Toronto struggling to get in here as he finally drops.
Where is Funana? Because we saw him expertly kite away. Okay, he made it back, I believe. Yeah. The Lucio jumping up and down. Did not go down, but the rest of his team did, unfortunately, and UC Berkeley. There's just a wall of damage, and every time Toronto passes that wall, they get instantly crushed.
And this is so scary considering that Cal has been doing so well on the first side, and now they go into the second side, building up their ult charges way faster than Toronto can hope to do. I mean, once Toronto actually get in here, they're going to be facing, like you said, a wall of damage and ultimates. I don't know how they can break this.
And so they're going to go through this left side, trying to come around, but the response from Berkeley, very good. Pullback, haven't gone in. The charge is going to miss from the offense. That might be really good for Berkeley.
Here we on with Sick on the Roadhog, finds a hook, unable to find the Lucio. Here he's going, Whole Hog finds one, finds two, into the meat grinder. Toronto goes, Style picking up a third, and now the rest of the members of Toronto are running back to their base. Style not letting anybody go. That tack visor going in.
Piscator, you don't need to actually convert hooks into kills if you could just use your whole hog to crush the entire enemy team. A complete team wipe in favor of UC Berkeley, and they're still going to have very valuable ultimates. Reinhardt with Earthshatter, aligned on that Zarya, very close to Graviton Surge. Toronto have a couple of ultimates here, but it's going to be so tough.
They do have 3, with 2 more on the tanks coming up. Just hit Q all at once.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go.
It's kind of the plan now. It looks like they're actually making their way around towards the apartment. They're going to call that out, going to try and get some damage off. Here comes the Nano Visor. Can Talon find any kills? He's been so good so far. Lair actually drawing first blood in the fight, and now the fight has gone down to the lower area. Here comes the sound barrier. Toronto trying to make a push happen. Graviton Surge comes out. Nobody dropping quite just yet. Cal still doing a good job of keeping them off. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Talon still trying to find damage. Nobody's looking at him, but finally, Toronto, just like we said, everybody hits Q, and they all get point A.
Lair, the MVP of that fight, going all the way around, and props to the University of Toronto. When their initial fights, when their initial pushes weren't successful, they adapted their strategy, and that time it paid off beautifully.
All right, 3.5 minutes on the clock for Toronto. Cal did a really good job of holding them off for a decent amount of time, but they still have a long road to go.
Yeah, mathematically, certainly it's going to be very hard for them to get a cap with as much time, but they could still get a cap with a couple of minutes, which would be enough to make a comeback.
Enough is all you need. Talon, 80% on that tactical visor. Still waiting for it. They're actually going in pretty deep. They find a pick onto them. Could be the opening they're looking for. Slurpee Thief going down. Attack visor is available. Looking to pop it soon, maybe.
That was a really good grenade, and now Renanthera has his ultimate available if they want to use that combo. Here we go.
Here they go. Nano visor is on, jumping onto the backline with the sound barrier. So hard to get there. Oh, the sleep puts him down, and Style responds to Talon. And now Cal swinging back in the fight. Style looking for even more. Those 2 kills weren't enough. He wants Dimes. Dimes somehow gets away. Gonna go 1v1. The bubble is on. Style actually gets popped by the grenade.
Goodbye.
And Toronto, great comeback in that fight. Slurpee Thief gonna get slurped down.
Dimes sitting at 100% charge when fighting that soldier, just roasting him.
My ultimate is charging.
And they're gonna push all the way to the checkpoint now. 90 seconds added to the clock, so they're not going to be able to beat UC Berkeley's time, but yeah, they can still take this Piscator. They have quite a bit of time left.
I mean, this is still really good progress. Like you said, they're not going to beat their time, but the fact that they're making this kind of progress against a team this strong, never count Toronto out. As we do have Funana with that sound barrier, should he elect to pop it. The pull in, gonna hit the shield instead. The Graviton Surge comes out, but where's the follow-up is the question. Here they finally go. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Now on with Talons. He's trying to shred down the tanks. 3 more players dropping for Toronto as Style finds a 4th. This guy has been going off on the main stage all weekend, and he's not slowing down anytime soon.
The setup there from Align, getting that grab. We didn't see it follow up initially, but everyone was bunched up well enough for Berkeley to come back and win that team fight pretty handily. Now, that being said, they use both Earthshatter and Graviton Surge, so 2 pretty strong crowd control ultimates. Toronto is going to have the ult economy advantage in this next fight, but it's all about execution.
Yeah, we saw what happened last time. Every single member of Toronto had their ults up. It went pretty good. They all pressed Q at once. They were able to take point A.
Uh-oh.
The Sick actually finding a kill onto Dimes. That's not somebody you want for to go down right now. Renanthar gonna get dove on. Sick finding a second kill in the fight, and now Toronto with a huge numbers disadvantage. Style gonna take that as a license to just go in deep. Talon gonna have to try and get away. He does manage to survive. At least that first push was thwarted.
I wonder if Toronto intentionally did not use any of their ultimates to try and bait out some enemy ultimates in a dry run, and then now use all 6 of theirs because they're gonna basically have it available. And Berkeley only has 2 of their own. They're coming close to a couple other ones though, but here we go. There's a whole hog.
There's a whole hog. They're getting pushed back. Cal still with a few ultimates available. Sal gonna hold on to that tactical visor. No, he's gonna pop it right here as he gets the nano boost. Gonna find one. Align finds another one on the outside. Talon getting pretty low here, but it looks like he stays alive for a little bit. The fight still going on in mid. Graviton Surge comes in. Bleeple finding a flame strike onto Sick.
It's 3v3 right now on the point, but it's so tanky. Toronto, that is. Their team composition right now on the point is really hard to kill. Although the Chouster looked like might have actually got that sound wave, the boot player off. Mr. Bleeple getting a kill into the Chouster, and there's another boop off. Slurpy Thief, what are you doing? Mr. Bleeple with that sound player is still alive, and the members of Toronto funneling in. Piscator, can they actually win this contest and capture the point?
Cal is spawning so close, so Slurpy Thief now switching over to that Winston to try and get on the point as quickly as possible. We even see the May coming out. Style trying to stall out for as long as he can. Dimes taking down the Diva.
Oh.
And here comes Slurpy Thief. So many members in the Graviton Surge. He's going to shred them through with the Tesla cannon. Cal now
Slurpy
slowly
Thief
coming ahead.
looking for Renat there. That's not the 1v1 you want to be in if you're the auto player, but somehow Renat there forces him away, and there's the Earthshatter out of the corner there, Mr. Bleeple. That's a pretty big Graviton. He is swinging that hammer. 3
members now down for Cal. This could be Toronto's chance again. And Chouster finding another boop onto Renanthara. Bleeple with the charge, not finding anybody. Toronto with 2 more kills in the kill feed. There's a Tracer on the point. They have to get rid of her. A line finally goes down, but Cal still spawning 1 at a time. Can they stall out a little bit longer? No! Toronto managed to get their 3rd point with 41 seconds to spare.
The way that overtime is going to work. Oh man, take a look at that crowd.
Everybody getting
Packed
hyped.
house, yep. I also liked one of the signs said, press your Q and win the game. That's kind of what Toronto did that one team fight.
Right? It's
Yes.
not that hard. Everybody press Q at the same time, walk forward, things generally go okay.
So about a 40-second time for Toronto to cap. The way overtime is going to work is basically they get an entire minute now, and that extra time is going to be refunded and given to the members of Cal. And we're going to see Toronto attack first with a minute to take the point. You know, you were talking about how fast King's Row's been taken on that first point. A minute is certainly enough to capture it and unlock the payload.
That's true. I have thrown games with bigger leads. It's definitely possible.
Well, that's you, Piscator.
This is true. I am not playing anywhere near this level. It's because of my teammates, man. I'm in elo hell.
We saw 2 boops, too, from Cal's Lucio. So, at least I want to say they were boops. Looked like boops.
Yeah, one of the coolest things about Lucio as a character is the fact that you can play him in a variety of ways. You can play incredibly aggressive, looking for those boops off the map, or you can play a little bit more passive, playing around your heal boost. But it's that kind of variety that these players are showing that really goes to show that, you know what, there are so many different ways to play Overwatch. One way isn't working, you may want to try something else. Talon going to switch off that Widow like he's been doing throughout the entirety of the series so far.
Essentially the same comp, but not from the defense. That may get a wall up the Reinhardt. So far, no one going down, but that hook.
That hook does land. Nobody going down quite just yet. Lair going pretty low here. Toronto trying to make a push, and Bleeple actually finding the first kill onto Slurpy Thief. It's a tank for tank. Lair going pretty low. Manages to make it out with just 41 health on that Roadhog. Now we're on to Talon. Talon trying to find a kill, but the wall does keep him away from the fight. Now going around the back like so many members of Berkeley are purple, but Talon can't quite finish anybody off quite just yet. Style opening it up with a kill onto Mr. Bleeple. Cal still fighting back.
Yeah, the Maywall there to protect his teammate. Berkeley still has a couple of heroes on the point. Lair needs to run away now because he's taking very low. Healing through the damage. Zarya is at 100% charge from the defensive side now. And Cal might actually force them to go back. 10 seconds left. Toronto need to get on the point and contest this.
They need to go. Talon does have that nano visor. He's going to pop it right here. He's going to finally get the nano boost as well. Here they come. They're stuck in the Graviton Surge, though. They're off the point or barely on it as the members of Cal now trying to push off Toronto.
Big Blizzard. Here it comes. It's going to freeze 2. Talon trying to do what he can. Runs away. Style getting a kill into time zone. This is going to be really bad for the University of Toronto.
2, 3, 4 kills picked up for Cal so far. Only Talon around. He's trying to get on before the touch, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Toronto denied.
And when your opposing offense has only a minute, playing Mei like that is so smart. Ironically, actually, the first execution of the Mei wall wasn't really successful. The plan was to get an early kill using that wall and then take a pretty simple team fight. But overall, they were able to contest long enough to get that Blizzard, and that Blizzard forcing everyone off of the point. So Toronto now, they've got to defend for 4.5 minutes, Josh.
And
that is hard.
And considering that Cal took the point, and then once it refreshed, they had about 6 minutes on the clock. I mean, I know we're never supposed to do math on stream, but I feel like with about 4.5 minutes to work with, this seems to look pretty good for Cal. Toronto, they were looking so hyped after their win in their semifinal match, but right now, it's definitely looking like a different team. See if they can bounce back though and hold them to this first point, because then we got to go to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, you get 4 minutes to start them. Technically, Cal have more time to get this first point than the default time.
Right?
Like, it's
a pretty good situation for Cal, not gonna lie.
yes, that would be a miraculous defense if we actually saw University of Toronto tie it.
All right, well, 13 seconds left on the clock before Toronto have an attempt to fight them off. But Lair actually going to switch over to that Pharah pick. We saw it work out pretty well for Style in the previous series. Maybe Lair can channel some of that Cal power and fight them off.
We'll see. They're definitely playing the long game. The 2-2-2 strat with a Zarya and a Pharah ulti combo. They need to be careful about early picks, though, because Sick is on a Hog and Style, of course, on the Pharah as well. So we could see some aerial-to-aerial combat here. A lot of damage from Lair so far.
Well, there's a lot of damage, and he is charging up that ult decently quickly. But looks like Cal finally moving on to the point.
There's also a Mercy for Cal. So Lair needs to be careful because he can't win a 1v2 in the air.
Oh, Sick been going pretty low. Talon actually going to find the first kill there. And now Cal at a numbers disadvantage. Style, however, finding a kill onto Lair, and Slurpee Thief finding one onto Bleeple. That could be the opening that they're looking for. Slurpee Thief finding a second one. Talon caught between a Reinhardt and somebody else on Cal. I don't think he's going to win that fight, and he finally goes down.
Oh.
Funana, a rocket to the face. No way he can survive that. Styling on the members of Toronto. And it looks like that's all she wrote for Toronto. Cal going to take Kings Row in overtime.
With time to spare, currently still being contested by Toronto. They're
Called it
trickling in.
too
There's
soon.
a Diva on the point. I'm not sure if this is just a desperate attempt, but the members of Toronto are going to try and do what they can. Style finding another one, killing Lair once again. That is a Mechless and dead Diva. And there comes the charge at the side. The boosted up Pharah, doing so much damage with those rockets.
There we go, just like that. University of California, Berkeley, gonna take map 1 over Toronto. I got scared because I thought I called it too early.
In similar fashion, too, we saw that Pharah play in the first time they played that. Style was amazing and just destroyed the defense. In overtime, same story. We were talking before about what exactly can Toronto do to win this finals, and Piscator, they need to find an answer to this far.
I mean, that was such a dominant win by Cal that I don't think Toronto really know what to do in this situation, because you're used to kind of storming through your opposition. They came out so dominant in their region, and now they're facing off against the toughest opponents that they have so far. Like, this is the final boss. They are each other's final bosses. Definitely a challenge that they never have faced before, but they wouldn't be here if they weren't a team that fought through the hard times. So, like I said before, can't count them out just yet. We'll see what map they go to next.
Yeah, so perhaps you want to pick a map that isn't really good for Pharah mains. That could be a roundabout way of dealing with Pharah. Perhaps they try and deal with her in another way as well. Honestly, the defense we saw from Toronto was much more ground-focused. They focused the grounded heroes as opposed to trying to directly kill the Pharah or potentially even the aerial Mercy. So I'm really curious about their counter-pick choice here, because there are a couple of maps that Pharah isn't great on.
Such as?
Putting me on the spot here, like...
Bro, you can't just say there are maps that Pharah's not good on and be like...
I like, if they wanted to go control, they could potentially go Nepal. I mean, even in Nepal, though, you could run it. If they wanted to go
This is
payload,
not Nepal.
This is Eichenbad, and honestly, this is a pretty good Pharah map, so they just want to take it based off of, you know, we might expect your Pharah, we're still going to try and beat it.
We know this map can be incredibly difficult to break through to the first point, because you only really have one way into point A to actually activate the payload itself. And I guess Pharah and Genji are the only ones who can really make that flank, so...
Yeah, there are some sneaky flanks, though. You can go around the side with the Pharah Mercy combo, which is something we've seen as early as the Overwatch Open. And we will see Cal as offense first, if I'm not mistaken. So I am pretty much expecting the Pharah combo, at least Pharah, potentially even Mercy, but we'll have to see. As the map goes further on, you go into that castle. It becomes a sort of more enclosed space and is a little bit, you know, closer range, much more brawly, and the end of this map is pretty hard to capture, if it even goes that far.
Right, go in. Got some of the chandeliers up there as this map gets really claustrophobic towards the end portion, like you said. But it's all about capturing the first point. It's one of those maps where it's like, all right, we're going to take care of the first problem, and then we're going to start thinking about what we have to do next, because that first point, like we've been saying, so hard to break through. There's not many, there aren't many routes that you can take to actually get there. And Cal on attack again. Remember, all of these teams decided attack or defense before the tournament even started, so they're going to continue that momentum on.
Yep, and speaking of talking about a little bit more, since we haven't seen it in the actual finals of the TCS, the second point, too, is the longest point in the game.
Okay, right now we're getting into our second map of Cal versus Toronto. Everybody make some noise. Let's get hype!
The crowd is getting hyped. The swag is flying. The posters are up. And the second match, will University of Toronto come back and push this to a 1-1 series? Or is Cal going to find that 2-0 lead?
We'll find out. Ikenvald it is. I can't say it as cool as you can, but I can say that I am excited
Here we
for
go.
this. Here comes the flank around. They have to be expecting this,
There's
right?
a Symmetra too. Oh, this is such a good counter for Cal.
They have no idea.
Can't say anything.
There we go.
Everybody's on it.
They know now.
Sal gonna find some damage. Oh, gets hooked out of the air. That's a big pick for Toronto. Here we go. Lair now looking for it. Cal going pretty low here. So many members picked up. Funana going big on that Symmetra pick. I don't think Cal was necessarily expecting that.
That
so it looks
was
like first successful defense.
such a good defense too, because everyone went around. Cal was trying to be super sneaky, but Toronto, they bunched up behind the shield. Lair found that really crucial hook. And because of this early advantage means Funana might actually get that shield generator or that TP up. He has his choice.
What shield go for here?
Honestly, shield generator could be pretty strong.
Okay,
Either are actually really good because both could snowball pretty heavily. Toronto
100%.
definitely with the advantage.
We'll see what they choose. Teleporter or shield generator. All right, hurry up, dude. Come on. There we go. Looks like it's going to be TP.
Very, very long respawn, of course, for the defense. So the TP makes it so that they can come back to the point much faster. So far, no one actually died, so good by Toronto not to actually take a fight while the Symmetra was out of it. And here comes the engage from the offense.
They're going to have to kill all of them at once, considering that they do have the teleporter. But Talon going to try and do his best to keep him off. Slurpee finding the first one in the fight. Sig finding another one as well. Now it's a 4v6 rather. Two more members of Toronto dropping. Can the teleporter get them back in time is the question.
Do they know? Do they know where the teleporter is? Because if not, Toronto's got to come back.
They're coming back so quickly, but it doesn't look like Cal actually has any sort of problem dealing with them. As soon as one walks out of the teleporter, they're just raining down havoc on them. Nobody from Toronto could respond to that push, and just like that, I think that's going to be Cal taking point A.
With the location of the teleporter, the members of Toronto tried to push through, but they all got answered by that barrage. So it's kind of the risk you run when you play with a TP. Yes, you want to put it far away. Yes, you want to put it where people have to walk really far to get it and around these corners.
Right.
But if you're playing it where there's a door entrance and the opponent uses an AoE ability like Barrage, then your heroes can't come back and contest. So Berkeley, yeah, that first fight, that first attempt didn't work so well, but they captured it in about 2 minutes, which is pretty fast.
And now 4 minutes in the bank for Berkeley.
Sneaky.
Trying to figure it out. Oh, bubble comes through just in time.
Really, really good barrier.
Not going to find a kill there, but he is pretty close to that whole hog, just 98%. He pretty much has it at this point. No hook found there either, but the payload is still marching forward. That's the only objective they really care about. Renantha are actually finding a kill onto Slurpee. Oh, big Earth Shatter coming through. This could be Toronto's fight, and as you see in the kill feed, that's all members of Berkeley dropping. Toronto answering back with a little Canadian swag.
Renanthra finding that first frag and a 4-man Earth Shatter by Mr. Bleeple. Now, we haven't talked about Mr. Bleeple too much so far, but he's been so good throughout the TCS. Now, look at this. Sick. Trying the same sort of Roadhog sneakeroonie as he did before. Let's see if he's successful this time. He could also knock them back with his ultimate here.
Looking for the sneakeroonie ultimate. Gonna push it off the members on the bridge. Now we have Lair trying to dive onto the backline with that McCree pick, but he gets roasted by a line. Graviton Surge comes through, but it doesn't look like any members of Cal drop. Talon finds one, he finds two. The bubble should be expiring soon, but he's getting zoned out pretty decently by the members of Cal. Finds a couple. Cal unable to push onto the point just yet. They're going to have to regroup.
So Sneakeroonie not too successful. There's currently 2-3 members of the offense still on the point. Nice hook there by Sick. Talons is dead, the DPS dead. This could be really good for Berkeley as they are coming back. That's another kill over. Sick is doing work.
You can make a Roadhog montage of all the Sick Roadhog plays we've seen this weekend. Sick getting a huge two-piece there. Graviton Surge comes out just to put the cherry on top. Renanthera does drop. That flower has been wilted.
Piscator, I like that little wordplay. Sick montage, as in a montage of Sick.
Take it easy, Seamoose. It was pretty sick, though.
Oh, God. Anyway, UC Berkeley, they did a really good job to get to the payload so far, but the second point is really far. We see the jump in from Slurpee Thief. He does have that ultimate if he wants it. Might even get boosted by Chouster. That being said, though, Style, of course, with that tactical visor is probably the most likely target.
True. See exactly what they do. Align actually going to the back lane. Slurpee Thief now on it too. Oh my God, Style, how many kills are you gonna light up? Sick lighting up a couple as well. Align with 2 more to his name, and Cal gonna pick up their second point on Eichenwald. Toronto, this is the last defense that they can pull off. They need to push them off here, otherwise Cal gonna get 3 points. And we know what happens when Cal starts to get going.
I think that might already be at that point, Piscator. 3 minutes is quite
What
a
did
bit.
Justin Bieber say? Never say never. This isn't over just yet.
And it's ironic because Justin Bieber is Canadian too. All right, there comes the McCree High Noon. Lair actually catches the Genji, so now that is going to be a fight that Toronto is able to salvage.
Good start from Toronto so far, but it looks like Cal realized that they lost the fight or they can't continue to contest.
And this isn't the updated PTR, Eichenwald. This is the current live version, so you don't actually see that rubble. The door will close all the way, which makes it so hard to press as the offense.
Got to go through one of those small side doors, and when you're a Roadhog, you kind of take up the entire engine, so you're pretty easy to hit. Oh, they're going to go around the right side now. Dimes throwing down the Graviton Surge. They're going to look to put them in the meat grinder right here, but the sound barrier comes out just in time. A 3-piece for Toronto as they're pulling ahead in the fight. Cal, there's no way out of this one. Only a line left alive. Toronto looking to chase him down, but this Genji, pretty darn slippery.
A huge Graviton from Dimes there as he is on fire with a crazy amount of energy. Means a pretty easy defense for Toronto. That being said, that's that resource down. They also used the sound barrier. Probably didn't actually need it. Although they did answer Berkeley's sound barrier, so right now you see Berkeley without any ultimates. They're going to be close to a few, and they're still going through the same place that they did before. Wow, a 3-man flashbang.
Doesn't really equate to anything though. Earthshatter comes through, gets completely blocked, and then now comes Style with the tack visor. Can he find anybody is the question. He can't really get to the back line, and now Toronto charging through the members of Cal yet again. Align the only one of Cal to find a kill there. But it does look like he has the Dragon Blade now up. Slurpee Thief with the Earthshatter as well, so this next fight could go differently.
And we're seeing so far, though, the difficulty of getting through these doorways. They're going to go around this right side now, it seems. Like you said, they have a lot of ultimates to work with. Align, can he make something happen with that Dragon Blade? They're going to make it through.
Maybe waving. Oh, he's going to pop it right here. He needs to find somebody. Squishy jumping onto the support right away. Clutch Bubble coming in. Unable to take him down, and Dimes finishes off the Genji. Talon finding a kill onto the opposite support. Cal losing the third fight that they try to engage in this little chokehold, and now they're turning tail to run. Toronto mounting such a successful defense thus far, but no, maybe I spoke too soon. Slurpee Thief still looking for violence here.
Oh, that's a
coming
really...
through with the flame strike. Oh, they're swinging back the fight. I didn't think it could happen. Dimes going down as well. And on their third attempt, Cal finally break through. This is the final stretch.
Slurpee Thief with an MVP play with a sliver of health. He is able to stay alive, get a kill to get his energy and get his ultimate charge. Lands a massive Earthshatter, and now finally, California Berkeley is able to get through the point. We see Sick trying to contest on the Renanthera. If he can kill the support, that'd be really good, but the Graviton answer by Toronto is gonna be too much to deal with.
Huge Graviton coming out, even the support getting in on the action there. It's a lot of resources used by Toronto thus far, but they actually do have 2 ultimates that they are sitting on. Cal not necessarily close to any wombo combos of their own, but Sick and Chouster coming closer and closer to that Graviton and that sound barrier. But 8 seconds on the clock, they have to get here.
Slurpee Thief went to Winston so he can contest this. However, 2 members of Cal Berkeley have already gone down, and that's going to be another one.
Overtime is ticking down. The members of Cal are just trying to get onto the point to reset it, but a line does fall. And on Toronto's counter pick map, they hold Berkeley to 2. But now the onus is on them to figure out whether or not they can actually get 2 or more points, or more distance rather.
Yeah, they have to get all the way to that third checkpoint. Don't really need to cap it. They have probably like 10 meters or so before the very end, but still, even though they held, that was quite the distance by Cal. And we're taking a look at Style, sort of the, certainly not the unsung hero now, but we didn't actually expect him to be the primary focus. We expected the line to be popping off, but the two of them in tandem are just so much for any team to work with. And Toronto didn't have to deal with Aspara that much that game, but he was still showing up.
I mean, we talk a lot about how across a variety of esports, teamwork is generally going to trump individual mechanics, but that only works up to like a certain point, right? I feel like Style and Aligned are just on a completely different level when it comes to those really clutch one-on-one engagements that you have to win. They're always coming up clutch for their team. I've seen Style go like 2v1, 3v1 multiple times, and we see Slurpee Thief on the screen right now also going clutch in multiple situations on a variety of tanks, both the Winston and Reinhardt working out incredibly well for him.
Yeah, and in moments of sort of poor situations, the adaptations the players have made, and really the hero swapping in general, in my opinion, has been really, really smart. We saw Slurpee Thief at the end there. He was trying to contest, goes to the Winston to make it to the point faster. Obviously, every time a point has been taken, we've nearly every time seen at least one or two heroes swapped. So the players are playing on comfortable heroes, but they're not limiting themselves to a shallow hero pool. There's a lot of depth, a lot of strategy from both of these squads.
All right, Toronto now on the attacking side. Gonna have some time to talk about exactly what kind of composition they want to pull out. They held Cal to 2 points, but Cal did get it pretty far to the end.
Okay, Cal's gonna run a Symmetraless, Torbjornless comp, so they're just gonna run a pretty standard comp on this point, which I was curious to see whether or not they would try to answer with some builder heroes or just stick to standard. That being said, though, they do have a Mei, which can wall off and be really annoying to deal with if folks walk through this choke point and then get walled off. Mr. Bleeple might be a victim.
Uh-oh, that's exactly what you don't want to run into. Gonna get isolated by the team. Align gonna take credit for the wall and the kill. Somebody from Toronto is on the point, though,
Yeah,
but they're going to get zoned out.
Talon's forced away, though, and since Bleeple's dead, the primary tank, the primary shield, Toronto need to play it a little bit cool, wait for that respawn before they try again, and now they know the Mei is there. How exactly, Piscator, do they outplay it?
It's one of those really confusing situations, because if you push up, you kind of have to push up all at once, otherwise half of you are going to get zoned off. There we go, just like that again. This is the exact same thing that happened the first time around. Gonna get frozen mid-air, smile for the camera, the headshot onto Talon. This main pick turning out so well as Lair finally drops as well. Zion trying to get away, but Sick actually finds the Helix rocket for the kill. Lucio managing to make it away as Cal continuing to push back Toronto. Remember, this was Toronto's map, and the fadeaway kill, Kobe.
Line him up, knock him down. Where has Align's Mei been all this tournament? We haven't seen it often, and apparently for good reason. It is so scary.
86% on that Blizzard as well. Gonna be asking Toronto if they want to build a snowman pretty soon, and I don't think Toronto want to take any part in that.
Ooh, that's a dead bar.
Tactical Visor coming out, shredding through Lair. Style taking down Dimes as well, and Cal over and over again taking down these team fights. Toronto unable to find the kills that they need. Zick has been on point with these rockets over and over again. Renanthera falling one more time.
And this is the third player they have playing a primary DPS hero. Style and Lazaria now, Aligned is on the Mei, so the roster is flexible, and they're really close to having the Blizzard Graviton combo, which is nuts. And at this point, Cal had already capped. Toronto has wasted 2 minutes so far, haven't gotten the point yet, and they're running out of time.
Just 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining. Although Cal didn't necessarily take all 3 points, if they can't even get 1 point, what does it really matter? Mei in the middle of all of them, the Blizzard's finally gonna come down. 2 more kills picked up for Cal already. Align gonna zone them all out. Free, she says, as Style finds a kill onto Bleeple. Chowster even getting in on the action. And now just a couple of members of Toronto standing as Cal gonna continue to chew through the members of the Canadian team.
Aligned outplayed Toronto
there we go.
So hard there. Because they all tunneled for him, he was able to stay alive, and then the Blizzard and the wall trapped them in there. That was crazy.
Gotta feel good if you're aligned. Already 25% to that next Blizzard, so gotta be feeling good on that Mei.
May not even need it at this point. You know, Graviton Surge is available for Style whenever he wants to use it. The wall is still enough to stop them. They've been trying to go through the choke every time and haven't done it successfully.
Hello! 3 members get zoned off this time. Let's see which one they go for first. Talon gets the bubble, staying alive for now. No kills getting picked up by Lion, picking up one. Sick picking up another one as well. It's a 2-for-1 thus far. Cal still ahead in the fight. Sick just diving onto the backline with attack visor. Renanthera does drop. Now he's onto Dimes. This Zari going pretty darn low, and the hammer to knock her down. Toronto, this was their map pick, but it's not looking so good. Even though they held Cal to 2 points, they can't get a single one of their own.
No, it's not looking good for Toronto at all. I know I'm talking about Line all the time, but he's putting on a clinic on the main. He's trying to position the walls now in different places because we saw Toronto go for him, so that time he set it up from the high ground. It wasn't super successful, but overall it actually led Cal once again to win the team fight, so honestly successful enough. Now, this is the last chance for Toronto to come in, but here comes the combo.
They don't even want to wait for them to come in. Cal's just going to go for the fight right here. The pulse bomb lands. Talon finding one. So far, doesn't look like it's going in favor of anybody before Toronto pulls ahead with the second kill in the fight. Six still getting lots of damage off. So much headshot damage from that soldier. Talon should be out of blinks right now. A couple more melee kills should do the trick. Leeple on the point by his lonesome. Overtime is still ticking.
Oh no, Lair, can he get out of this? He can't run, he has to kill her. Align was really low, so he's gonna shift to heal back, and he might go back to fight the soldier. Soldier, nope, gets away. Slurpee Thief actually getting the kill him.
Leeple finding a kill, but he gets traded right back immediately. Lair on the points as well, nothing that he can do by himself. The Blizzard for good measure. Diva gonna jump out of her suit, gonna get shredded immediately. And Toronto, it looks like that is all they wrote as this last kill finally comes through. Cal on Toronto's counter pick. They pick up their second map win. They are on the verge of being your first Overwatch Tespa Collegiate Series Grand Champions.
And that last team fight, it looked like Cal starting off so strong with that amazing Graviton, and then the sound barrier from Toronto almost made it seem as if, you know, okay, Toronto are going to be able to get it. But no, a full hold on the counter pick that Toronto chose. That is winning, and that is winning with authority.
And I want to ask you a question. You used to coach professional teams, correct?
Yes.
When you're in a situation where you get to pick the next map that you want to play, I would assume that the first time you get to do that, you would probably pick your best map, right? Or am I incorrect in saying that?
No, you are correct.
So what I'm trying to say is if that was their best counter pick, I mean, it's not looking super good for Toronto at this point, right?
That was probably up there. We've played 2 hybrid maps, and both times Toronto lost. Kings Row, pretty close, you know, to be honest, not really. That leads me to believe that Toronto, if they want to come back here and sort of change the outcome, they need to play on a different map type.
What do you think they should go to at this point? Because like you said, the hybrids weren't working out. I know a lot of teams kind of default to control, and I know that's something Toronto likes to do. So we could see something like Lijiang again, maybe even Nepal.
I definitely wouldn't go to Oasis, because obviously that is a map that we saw Cal's very comfortable on, potentially even one of the assault maps.
Remember when Oasis first came out, everybody was like, oh my gosh, what are these cars going to do? But I don't necessarily ever see anybody going around that route.
Yeah, I think it was patched, but there's a really fun mechanic where you could use Zarya shield, her barrier on herself. And looks like we are on Lijiang Tower. Yeah, okay, it's going to be the control map, so they're going to try and switch it up, but that is something that we've said. Really, Cal is so good at that dive comp. They're so good at winning these duels, these brawls, and that is exactly what the control map type will be.
A lot of times on those hybrid or pure payload maps, we can see a variety of more patient, slower playstyles come out. But in control points, you know where everybody's going to be on the other team. They're going to be going for that point itself. So it's going to be fast and furious action from the get-go. And like you said, Cal has shown such proficiency with those aggressive dive compositions. Style, Align, have been playing a variety of heroes throughout the entirety of the tournament. And especially in situations like these where Style has been doing incredible things on Pharah, if they manage to get a boot buff on this bridge, always feels bad for the other team, but always feels so good if you're the one to do it.
Oh yeah, those Pharah knockbacks with the concussive blast are really fun to do as a player, also super fun to watch, and I'd imagine we see some Pharah. This could potentially be the last game though. Are Toronto gonna come out and take this back, potentially push us to a game 4, or is that gonna be Cal taking the victory on their home turf? 3-0.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this could be it. Make some noise. Cal on the verge of a championship. Toronto fighting to stay alive. Everybody's distracted by shirts. That's fine.
Style on the Tracer now. Linking on the point, no kills just yet, but it's dive versus dive, folks. Style trying to get the Tracer whereas Talon's the Tracer on the other team is trying to go for a different target. Align finding the first frag. That's another frag for Cal.
Already, we talk about this point a lot in that whoever the first team is to win the first team fight, they generally tend to take this entire point. And as we saw, Cal with the first 4-5 kills now, in that fight. Gonna take that point pretty decisively, and already we're at 50% ult charges across the board.
Yeah, nearly everyone on Cal, and that's pretty incredible. Toronto, they try to fight fire with fire. That first fight not in their favor. Currently, if they go really aggressive, perhaps they can fight before Cal gets any ultimates up, and it looks like their plan, but no kills just yet.
Nobody just yet. Cal continuing to earn points. Sick actually finding a first kill. Dimes response back, but oh boy, Cal just coming ahead in the fight again. Style just going in and out. Nobody can really track him down. Spraying left and right on that Tracer. Renanthera gonna fall. Pulse bomb at the ready, but it doesn't look like they even need it as the second team fight goes decisively in Cal's favor yet again.
And now is the really, really tough part. Toronto is gonna have a couple of ultimates soon. Cal is gonna have nearly every single one.
Everybody in the club got ults, man. Slurpee Thief just a few % behind as well.
I mean, at this point, he basically has it. Toronto certainly not going to have a good time this fight.
Here's one of them. They're going to go in with a couple more. Oh, big combination coming out of 4 members, 6 members rather, completely evaporating off the face of the planet. Cal stomping the members of Toronto, team fight after team fight.
And the gong has been sounded. I'm going to be a little bit hypercritical here and say they probably didn't need both the Dragon Blade and the Pulse Bomb.
But it looked cool.
And it did the job. They still have 3 ultimates, and it's probably one more team fight before they can just win this map outright. So we'll see what Toronto do. They have a few of their ultimates, notably that Dragon Blade combo with Nano Boost.
They're gonna pop a couple right here. Graviton and Dragon Blade comes out. That's 2 kills picked up. So far, so good for Toronto. Can Cal respond is the question. Here comes Slurpee Thief on that Primal Rage. He's not gonna find anybody just yet. Lair finding a second kill in that fight. Now Toronto continuously contesting. Talon finding 1, finding 2. Should be just one more member of Berkeley left standing. Where is the player? Style finally goes down. And with 99% on the board for Berkeley, Toronto managed to stay alive.
They managed to stay alive, but Piscator, this is going to be so incredibly tough. We can see the members chasing down Lair, trying to get the resets. Hasn't gotten one just yet, taking a little bit low, needs to back away, but has the Winston shield to protect him. A trade so far, the Pulse Bomb does not get a kill, but this might actually be bad for Toronto as California is pushing forward.
This fight is so far away from the point. It's Mr. Bleeple finding 2 with the Primal Rage right there. Big kills getting picked up for Toronto. Talon finding another one as well. Cal looked so good at the beginning of this map, but it looks like Toronto finally finding a little bit of life. Cal can barely get out of their spawn at this point, Seamoose.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, the best defense is a great offense, and that's what Toronto is doing right now. Cal is going to take a little bit of a moment to recollect themselves. Here comes the Pulse Bomb. Does not stick and does not get a kill. Almost looks like it might get Ana, but Ana gets taken down anyway. And here comes the Dragon Blade.
Talon actually doing most of the killing. Here's the Dragon Blade acting as a distraction. Lair not going to find anybody. Going to do a decent amount of damage, though. Talon picking up 2 is going to be enough for Cal to turn tail and run. Looks like Chaucer elects to jump off the map instead of giving up more ult charge.
Toronto able to take another team fight, but that's basically most of their ultimates. Not going to be up for quite a while now, Piscator. Berkeley definitely going to have the advantage. Potentially the only ultimate we could see from Dimes coming up is that Graviton Surge, but let's see. Cal must know that they have the advantage now.
Talon saw line super low, going after the backline, but I don't think he's going to find a kill. Kyle going pretty low. Bleeple finding the kill onto the opposite support, but now Style coming up in the kill feed. 2 kills for Berkeley. They're trying to make their way into the point. 76% on the board for Toronto as a couple more kills being picked up by Cal. Style with the melee kill, puts the hammer down on Talon. And it looks like the point's slowly going to tick up. Cal, 99% in overtime. Somebody from Toronto has to jump on this point. Bleeple trying to get in. He gets it just in time with the tap. Lair does go down. Bleeple going very low as well before more members of Toronto are trying to get into the fight. Graviton Surge comes through. Overtime is still going, but it's Cal still pulling ahead in the fight. Renanthera drops. Dimes the only one of 2 left alive. Talon drops as well. And just like that, University of California, Berkeley draw first blood on Lijiang Tower.
You saw Lair touch the point, try and contest in overtime. Winston and the rest of the team, but it was only to delay. It wasn't enough for Toronto to come back and win the team fight to actually get the points. And just based off of that 99% advantage that we saw Cal get early in that game, they were able to take the first map on the control center. So now let's take a look at the next map. We're going to either going to be that night market or that garden. And if it is garden, I think we might see Styles Fire again. If not, certainly a Genji on one, if not both teams.
I mean, look at all the members of Toronto, as we saw on the screen just a few seconds ago. This was a team we were talking about and referencing the fact that they were giving like pre-written speeches before their games to kind of hype themselves up. Looking for the boop, though. Oh, a Canada chant going.
We see two Farah
Oh,
and one
Renata!
Farah gets a boop. Style killing Renata for 6v5 in favor of Cal. Style getting another one. Gets Slayer looking for more. Style, you are crazy.
In their minds, it seems like Cal has already won the tournament. Look at the ferocity that they're playing with. A boop to start it off. Talon finds one, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The control point is going to unlock in 1 second, and with no members of Toronto around, it doesn't take a genius to do that kind of math. Cal, first possession.
It was nearly an exact mirror, and still Cal just destroyed Toronto. They have possession of the point now, going to be closer to the ultimate, but we have a Mercy now to back Layer up. So he's going to be 2v1, but Style is still being pocketed a little bit by Cal F, but he gets taken out by Talons. This could be advantage to Toronto.
This could be 6v5 so far in favor of Toronto. Style Chill trying to find a kill, getting pretty low here. Still managed to stay alive. Oh, boost over the wall, gets it just in time.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
it was
Toronto.
taken by the Winston, but apparently doesn't matter. He gets the frag anyway.
Toronto now with possession, 25% only for Cal so far. It's a good retake by Toronto.
What we saw there was Style and a couple other heroes being pushed away. Yes, Style didn't really die, but because they were pushed away, Toronto was able to find the frags and then get onto the point and actually take the point. So only 25% to UC Berkeley, not too much to be completely honest.
Remember, this is Toronto fighting for their tournament lives right here. UC Berkeley up 2-0 in the series, up 1-0 on Lijiang Tower alone. Here comes the missile barrage, gets shut down by Sig. That's a big ultimate to lose right there. A big pulse bomb landing on 2. Talon finding a third one. Can he find a fourth? This is the question. Style looking for somebody, not quite able to find a kill there. Toronto still with possession of the point, now pulling ahead of Cal. Sal on the point, trying to juke it out with this Genji. Bleeple taking down Chowster. Cal dropping one member at a time. And Canada, looks like the chant worked. They're coming to life.
Dimes the Canadian Genji. We see him here. He's been playing Zarya all day long, but finally able to show his stuff, and he's not sorry for that. Talons, though, finding a two-man pulse bomb and then picking up another kill in that fight. Toronto starting to run away with this lead in terms of percent.
And we were really wondering about what their counterpick map was going to be, because we were talking about, oh, Eichenwald was probably their best map, but it seems like so far Lijiang Tower is working out a little bit better. But just as I say that, the caster's curse is real. 2 for 1 so far in favor of Cal. Lair does find one onto Kyle, though, but Sig finds a third onto Dimes, and a line's popping up in the kill feed as well. Looking real bad for Toronto. That should be every single member dropping. Lair, the only one left standing with just a sliver of health, gets taken down, but it doesn't matter. The point has been retaken.
That was still so sick, though. Back and forth, back and forth. Overall, Toronto's other heroes were already dead by then, though, so unfortunately there for Lair, of course, and now UCB with control. That being said, though, Toronto had quite a bit of percentage before then, so they're not sitting in a bad position.
Don't have a lot of ults or no ults to work with. Renata are getting pretty close to that sound barrier. Cal may be looking for an opportunity here. They actually pick up the first 2 kills of the fight. Could be good for them. 3 now down for Cal. Style responding with 1, but Dimes responds with the kill of his own. The Dragon Blade coming in, doing some big work. And it looks like Toronto, with that fight, they get a team kill. They managed to retake the point.
The APM there and the sass for Dimes to put that sorry in between swinging his blades. Very well done for him to shut up that barrage from Farah. Still, Cal might be able to contest this, and if they do, they have a ton of ultimates. Oh, a kill already for Sig. Mr. Bleeple taken down. Can they contest, though?
95%. This is do or die time right here. Lair just spazzing out on screen, as we see right there. Cal is on the point. We're in overtime. Lair has a shield from the sound barrier, staying alive for a decent amount of time. Nobody quite going down just yet. Alliance finding one. Dimes responds with a kill. But Cal actually do manage to take the point in the midst of all that. Toronto at 99%. They just need one more retake.
Align gets the kill on Lair and now has Dragon Blade available. He might not even need it, as Cal just kind of went off that fight. It looked really, really close, but then Cal was not only able to take the point, eventually they win the team fight as well. And good timing too, because Toronto does have 99%. Now, next fight, Funana is going to be relatively close to his Resurrect. This could be the best moment for a massive Resurrect play.
All right, save the Mercy, save the world. That's what Toronto needs to do here. See exactly how Cal chooses to respond. A line going in, that's 2 members dropping. Where's the Mercy is the question. Funana's down! That's the res off the table! And just like that, that should be it for Toronto on this side. 93% for Berkeley. Looks like Bleeple the only one left alive. Can they come back?
A scientist and a dream.
Oh, no, he
Mr.
missed the
Bleeple
window.
misses the window, and that's going to be it. The second map UC Berkeley, one map away on Lizong Tower from being your TCS champion.
Look at the smile on their faces. That's a $21,000 smile if I've ever seen one. These guys, just one round
42,000.
42. You know, it's the jump from 21 to 42. If I did that math right, I probably didn't. But still, this is just one round win that Cal needs to pick up in order to claim the grand prize to be the first ever Overwatch Tespa Collegiate Series champions.
And the converse of this is if we do crown Toronto as the champions today, they will have to run back the greatest Overwatch run back of like all time.
I'm ready for it. I want to see a sick comeback, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the brink of history. Cal could be the first ever collegiate Overwatch champions in the Tespa Collegiate Series, but still the crowd is chanting for Canada. See what happens on Night Market.
That energy, that spirit bomb, the first time we saw it actually, and heard it in the crowd, Lizong Tower, the second map was taken initially by the Canadians on Toronto. Now Style on Tracer, ooh, forcing out the recall from Talon pretty early on. That's a cooldown down and a hero down. The Chowster picking up Leeple.
It's going to be really good for Cal so far. Style unable to find anybody just yet. Cal's first one's on the point with the numbers advantage, but this has been a fight that's been going on for 30 seconds, but not many people dying until just now. 2 members, 3 members now down for Toronto. Cal with first possession of the point. Funana gonna take his own life to not give away any more charge. And just like that, Cal, they could just be 90% away from being your grand champions.
And the interesting thing is because the fight took so long before the point was actually taken, we're pretty close, Piscator, to some powerful ultimates. Style already has his combo almost available from Cal. And Lair coming on the Genji. Pulse Bomb's gonna miss. There goes Slurpee Thief. He's boosted by that nano boost.
Align finding a kill onto Lair. One of their DPS down bad for Toronto. Sick finding another one. This duo has been popping off this series. They want the win so bad. They've been working for months and months on end. How many sleepless nights did they have practicing and studying at the same time? Align finding another kill onto Renanthor. They're pushing all the way into their spawn, playing so aggressively. But it looks like a member of Toronto did manage to find their way behind backlines. Talon finally gonna drop though. Oh, Align, that was a close one. He's still okay. Toronto now on the point. Looks like they have a numbers advantage. And Cal looks like they may be giving this one up.
Toronto doing a very good job of punishing the over-aggression from Cal. That being said, Align is going to do his best to try and contest this. And Lair very, very nearly is able to get that kill with his slice through. And oh no, punished though by his over-aggression.
Align, that's something we're going to call a very brave and optimistic play.
Yeah,
he was 3v1 with like 10 health, popped the Dragon Blade anyway, didn't work out.
Oh, that Pulse Bomb.
Pulse Bomb did work out though. Oh, Align
A
finding
reflected Pulse Bomb.
Oh, that's what that was. 2 for 2 so far. Toronto still with possession of the points. Cal need to get back into it. Style still has that Pulse Bomb though, finds one onto Dimes. Dragon Blade comes out from Toronto. Looks like Cal are on the point. They're going to back off, though.
Potentially wasted ultimate there by Lair. Funana getting the kill Style. Probably just look to be a reset. And Talon's being aggressed on by Slurpee Thief. Doing a good job harassing on that Winston. Needs to be careful now. They're going for the Ana. That's exactly what you want to see from this dive.
They're diving. The bubble is down. But oh no, the healed grenade does come out. Sig finds the first one in that fight. Leeple going down. Now it's Talon just trying to find damage, but he doesn't want to go in 2D. Very, very squishy as that Tracer. Dimes and Lair each coming up with one. Kyle left finding a response kill, but it looks like Toronto now slowly pulling ahead in this fight. Cal gonna have to regroup. Toronto at 60%, finally pulling ahead of Berkeley on Night Market.
Exactly.
Can they keep it up is the question.
Ahead in both the fight and now this map. That being said though, Cal's coming back with a lot of ultimates. Talons and the rest of Toronto need to continuously push aggression. Let's see if that Pulse Bomb lands onto anything. Lair is building his ultimate. It lands onto Winston.
Oh! He carried it into the team, but he does go down eventually. Kyle and Align both find one. The Nano Blade coming through does so much damage, slicing through a support and a tank. Sig finding one. Now the members of Toronto on the back foot. Kyle finding another one. Point still hasn't been taking it. 86% for Toronto, but Kyle slowly pulling ahead more and more in this fight as they look like they are going to retake it.
The Dragon Blade from Align there was massive, contributing to 3 kills and contributing to the one team fight that led Cal now to reclaim the point. Toronto has 90%, but if they don't get on the point, that doesn't even matter. 30% left and counting for
Slurpee
UC
Thief.
Berkeley.
We've seen Slurpee Thief do this before. He's plays really sneaky, then jumps onto the back lane once the team gets a little bit split up. Here comes the Graviton Surge, though. They may be looking for the all-in play here. So much damage. It's just a 1-for-1 thus far, a 2-for-2 now. Who's going to pull ahead? Lair coming in with the Dragon Blade, picks up 2 with it, and it looks like Toronto not wanting to cry uncle quite just yet, but no. Cal coming back to contest. Slurpee Thief is on it, holding on to that Primal Rage. Finds a Tesla cannon kill onto Mr. Bleeple. He's finally going to pop it, looking to stall out for a team for just a little bit longer. So very tinky, so very hard to keep away. Gonna knock him off the ledge. One more kill picked up for Cal. They're in overtime right now. They're on the verge of history. Can they do it?
Slurpee Thief might have just won Cal the game.
God.
With that stall and with that knockback, with that ultimate. Slurpee Thief and Cal on the brink of it. They're 1% away, 1 hero away. Bleeple is dead.
Dimes is down, Bleeple's down, and just like that, the perfect stall from Slurpee Thief. UC Berkeley are your Overwatch Tespa Collegiate Series Grand Champions.
And you see Mercy there. Mercy congratulating the players. You know, the role they took to get here, looking simply based off their matches. They had losses before here, but those losses certainly must have made them that much stronger. A dominating performance against Rutgers and a dominating performance in the final.
I mean, what an incredible match, and it is so weird to see the very final handshakes of the Tespa Collegiate Series in Overwatch. A round of applause for all of our competitors, 230 plus schools who competed in this historic tournament.
University of California, Berkeley, continuing the legacy, winning the first Heroes of the Dorm, winning the first Tespa Collegiate Series in Overwatch. Truly a collegiate esports dynasty.
I mean, what a fantastic game. What more can be said? Slay Fishsticks is going to be on stage standing by with an interview with a member of our winning team. Fishsticks, my man, take it away.
All right, I'm joined here by Chowster. UC Berkeley just took home the win. First of all, what does this feel like, taking home your win in probably your first esports tournament?
This is pretty amazing. None of us thought that we'd be here. At the start of Tespa, none of us thought that we'd be going to a LAN tournament, competing for scholarships, and coming out with the first prize.
I mean, you just won in a dominating 3-0 victory. You're telling me that this team just came together and you weren't even expecting to go far?
Our beginning was very rough, but over the season, we've just worked on our cohesiveness. We still like to pick one-on-one fights, but our teamwork has really increased, and it showed at this tournament.
Okay, a 3-0 victory, $60,000 in the collective pockets. How does that feel? What does that mean, taking home this championship?
Some of us are graduating. For some of us, it'll help pay for our scholarships, bills. School's expensive. Some of us, me and Kyle, are graduating, so we can take that money and pay off other things, debts.
Perfect. Well, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations on the victory. One more time, your champions, UC Berkeley.
Have it, our first ever Tespa Collegiate Series champions in Overwatch. Cal Berkeley continuing the legacy of their Heroes of the Dorm team here, and in such a great fashion. Just like you had said during the cast, styling with that DPS, and of course aligned. We can't speak down on that Genji. Every time he had that nano, he went for the plays and he got them. But it was the entire team bringing it all together. And they might have won the lion's share of $100,000. But when I talked to them earlier this week, they said they just wanted to be #1. That's all that mattered to them.
I mean, they made history. This was the biggest collegiate Overwatch tournament that ever happened. A big thanks to Blizzard and Tespa for making that happen. This is the birth of a new esport that we're seeing. So to see the future of professional and collegiate Overwatch get to this level, I can only see brighter things happening in the future.
Yeah, and for these Cal guys specifically, a quote, we were just doing it for fun first, but then we started winning. I love seeing the humility of these guys, and honestly, with the performance, some of these players probably want to show off to these top-tier pro teams. Definitely, like you said, Piscator, we could see some of them at the highest level.
I mean, we saw earlier, actually later last year at BlizzCon, Miro getting the first Combine spots. Could we possibly be seeing Style or Aligned getting a spot in the Combine later on this year? I mean, there's so much ahead of these guys. The future is just right ahead, you know, just open for them.
And I think the craziest thing is once we like interview these players and teams, Berkeley kind of didn't necessarily expect to go very far, but the fact that they made this sort of progress and they actually ended up taking the entire thing, I mean, it goes to say that anything can really happen in the world of Overwatch. The possibilities are endless, so I can't wait for the future of more collegiate action, because I'm sure everybody watching at home who didn't get to participate is thinking, hey, this sounded like fun. I can help pay off school. Sounds like a win-win to me. Can't wait for the future.
All right, and of course, none of this would be possible without Tespa and Blizzard's help. Thank you guys so much for putting on this amazing collegiate event. Also, thank you to our audience for coming out and supporting all 4 of our teams who came here from all across the nation and Canada. And finally, we want to give a huge shout out to the University of California, San Diego for hosting us and allowing us to have this space. It was such an amazing adventure. Thank you all. Have a good night.